Hello everybody, welcome to the latest episode of Castlevania. I thought we'd do things a little differently. You probably noticed there's no camera in the corner. And the reason for this is I'm gonna try to edit some of this to sort of whittle down, the back and forth going for hearts between each attempt. As Lord knows how many tries this is actually going to take to defeat Dracula. And I did say a couple of episodes ago, I did want to sort of learn how to do some video editing. If only just to make the videos look a little prettier. So, since we did have continues here rather than at the beginning of the stage, I'm considering this, a new stage, more or less. So I made my way through it to where we still have the triple, and I still have the water. Now, looking up the best strategies to defeat Dracula, it was pretty strongly suggested to have specifically the 3 and the water, because it allows you to sort of stun lock the final Dracula phase, so that you have to whip the face, which isn't very easy when, he's bouncing around and shooting fireballs at your face. So, the ideal is to make it through this phase with minimal health lost. That's not great. So that we can have as much margin of error for mistakes against the second phase as possible. And I did get a little... I did get a lot of practice on this phase the last episode, so, well, obviously there's mistakes there. Give me 1 second, I'll sort of fade through collecting these hearts so you don't have to watch it every time. There'll be a transition around now. Alright, so, as I said, I'm editing out just the heart gathering and everything just to save time for everybody. Because I don't want, a 30-minute video where 15 minutes of it is just me collecting hearts. I am doing terribly here. But as I was saying, we want to try to get to the second phase with as minimal mistakes as possible, which I get a lot of practice, but I still don't have the timing down as exactly when to move to dodge those. And, it's a very erratic boss because of the way jumping feels. Because he has a bad habit of sort of teleporting right on top of you, and if you're not moving the exact right way, you're almost guaranteed a hit, so you almost have to anticipate where he's going to be beforehand. And you can sort of... I hesitate to say manipulate him, but you can sort of, if you stay still for a second, you can kind of make him appear where you want him to appear. 50% of the time, I would say. Again, it's not guaranteed in any conceivable way. But if you can see where he's coming, you can sort of move away before he's fully phased in, which you want to stay close. You can whip his head after, he opens his cape, and you have a pretty small margin of error before he goes away. In the first phase, it's not too bad. It could be a lot easier, could be a lot harder. If you've played another Castlevania game, you roughly know how it works. Now, the second phase, like I said, he jumps around. You can, as you can see here, you can freeze him in place, allowing you to whip his face. But you have to have pretty good timing on where you throw these down, or else you're gonna get backed up into the corner, as you can slowly see me getting backed up. And I'm close, but yeah, I was pretty much in a place where I couldn't go any further whatsoever. So, more or less, the strategy is get to the second floor with as much health as possible, freeze him into place as often as possible. The less he moves, the better. And hope for the best, really. I mean, there's no other way around it. Just hope for the best. Now, I haven't decided what I'm going to do after we finish this. Honestly, recording 2 videos right now a week has been somewhat time-consuming, considering my offline stuff that I have to do when I'm not streaming. So I might whittle it down to just ESO for the time being, and I'm still trying to figure out how we end that. Like, do we go through the entire storyline for Blackwood? Do we go a little bit further? Because, I mean, you can make the argument that, you know, we've shown off a good chunk of the new content, like, you know, your companions and stuff like that. Again, an introduction of the basics and stuff along those lines, but, you know, it's an MMO. It's a lot of running around. And I mean, I'm sure the people who like the MMO, they might like seeing what other people get up to when they play, but everybody else, I could see it being a little on the boring side. Alright, second phase down. Now, hopefully we can keep him stun-locked. It's not too hard, especially if you throw 2. Because if you throw 2, you have a bit of a buffer before you have to throw another one. And there you go. Dracula down. Castlevania 1 defeated, which... it's a rough game, you know? A lot of the roughness is just from how, I guess, stiff Simon feels. Sort of like La Mulana, when you jump, you better commit to where you're going, because you're just gonna drop like a rock. There we go, we got the Cursed Simon Belmont achievement. First game officially finished. And we get to see the credits here now, and this is probably pretty common knowledge at this point, but if you pay attention to the names drifting by in the credits, not a single one of them looks like a real name, although a lot of them are references to other franchises with, you know, monsters and stuff of that night, like Christopher B. Obviously Christopher Lee, who played Dracula in the movie. You know, Mick Shrex is similar to Max Shrex. Green Stranger, you know, they're just tongue-in-cheek little nods. I don't know why they do this here, because I don't think they do it on any other of the Castlevanias. Also, Simon Belmondo, not Belmont. There's a little trivia there. But yeah. That was Castlevania 1. Thanks for those who watched me play through it. Might do the other Castlevanias eventually. In the meantime, though, I will say goodbye to you and see you next time for ESO. Have a good one.